This NAHET's Yellow Metal Boot Camp video was done in cooperation with Volvo Rents and Volvo Construction Equipment, where quality, safety, and environmental care are fundamental. And that's a great place to start as we introduce you to the backhoe loader in this series starring the Volvo Model BL60. The Yellow Metal Boot Camp training program has tasks or drills which are information-based or performance-based. In other words, you either gotta say stuff or do stuff. When a drill is done for a NAHET certified instructor, it may help you earn certification. For more information or to see about becoming a certified heavy equipment operator, go to the National Association of Heavy Equipment Training Schools website, nahets.com. That's what these guys do best. In this video, we're going to help you make friends with the backhoe, also known as the tractor loader backhoe, TLB for short, backhoe loader combo, rubber tire backhoe, JCB if you live in Europe, or just plain old backhoe to the rest of us folks. In some parts of the United States, they also refer to an excavator as a backhoe, and the two are related, so we'll get into that in a minute. You know, many small contractors have started their businesses with a single backhoe. Of course, a backhoe can be equipped with all kinds of work tools and attachments for both the front and the back end of the machine, making it a trusted member of the team on everything from construction sites and utility installations to landscape projects in forestry and on farms. And as a matter of fact, a contraption called the HMEE, which is the world's fastest production backhoe, was just developed for deployment in the US military. I guess you have to be able to load trucks pretty fast with people shooting at you. Like a good Swiss Army knife, there are lots of reasons why a backhoe is your best friend in a variety of situations. It can travel under its own power on roadways without damaging the pavement, making it a common sight around urban development and utility projects. It's large enough and powerful enough to do the big jobs, but small enough to be loaded on a trailer and transported easily. It's got both reach and breakout force so that it can dig deep trenches in hard ground. It's got the knack of both hoisting and grasping heavy objects, the capacity to carry and transfer good-sized bucket loads of material, and it's always ready to excavate, level off, and work the ground. So this one-man band has a lot of capability, and there's a fair amount of stuff to understand. Now, I don't care what your old Uncle Billy Bob told you. I think most people would tend to agree if you want to do something right, you should learn how to do it first. A fool is the one who sticks his hand on the stove to find out how hot it is. There is a better way to do it without having to go through that much pain. Learning about the backhoe will make you better at doing whatever the job at hand might be. As with any piece of complicated machinery, the backhoe does its best work with a skilled operator at the controls. But many first-time backhoe jockeys get thrown onto a machine by their cousin or other distant relative, usually without much training. Or they work at an outfit where there's a backhoe parked in the yard, told the famous last words, "Go figure it out." Some guys are smarter than they look, and after a few months of moving tires from the dock, they feel that they've advanced to the level of a professional, all ready to go out and solve the world's problems, whether it's on a utility dig or a construction site. We all know how fortunate a fella is if he has the opportunity to hire a teenager while he still knows everything. By the way, can you explain exactly what a backhoe is? There is some debate over what company first invented what we call the backhoe, including Bucyrus Erie, British-owned JCB, and Case Construction Equipment. We're going to clear this up a little for you, but first it might be helpful to understand just what kind of special magic makes a backhoe a backhoe. It's really a tractor with what is technically referred to as a rear actor or a back actor attached to it that consists of a boom and another section called the dipper, the crowd, or the stick, depending on what part of the country you're in, hinged to the end of the boom, forming an articulating arm connected to a bucket. The part of the machine it gets its name from is also found on what we call an excavator, which many people also refer to as a trackhoe. The birth of the concept of an engine-powered machine with an articulating digging arm can be traced all the way back to the early steam shovel, which was built on a railway chassis. It was invented by William Otis, who received a patent for his design in 1839. The boom and dipper were controlled with cables. This old machine bears some resemblance, but this could not be considered a backhoe. Why? Because its bucket was facing forward, so that it scooped away from the machine. You see, the name backhoe really refers to the direction that the dipper bucket travels in as it digs in relation to the machine that it's mounted on, and not the location of the arm on the tractor. This makes it easier to understand how a backhoe loader and an excavator or a track hoe are related. Technically, a backhoe pulls dirt backwards toward the machine rather than pushing it or lifting it in a forward direction away from the machine. In fact, while there are some excavators that are backhoes, there are also excavators that dig forward like the old steam shovel, and this type is never referred to as a backhoe at all, but rather as a shovel. And that's a key difference. A shovel and a backhoe differ in the direction in which the dipper bucket digs into the earth, just as a hand shovel and a garden hoe dig in opposite directions.
At this time, we'd like to go over the main components of the backhoe and what they're for. On the back portion of this, we have, of course, the main engagement area, which is a bucket, teeth for wear and tear, dipper arm, and the main boom, of course, in this area right here. With the outriggers down, an operator can comfortably dig, cut, demolish any item that he needs to. And of course, with the front loader system, can either scoop, doze, or load the same material into a truck.
Today, of course, most backhoe loaders are powered by diesel engines and use hydraulics. The kind we're referring to here is mounted on the back of a tractor. Thus, we have what we call a tractor-loader backhoe combo. In Europe, these same machines are always called a JCB after the British company that had a hand in their early development. In fact, the term backhoe is not really even ever recognized by most people in the UK at all. After doing some research, it's clear that JCB is the company on record as the one that really developed the whole idea and first created a tractor that had the combination of a backhoe mounted on the rear and a front-mounted loading bucket in 1953. After that, the concept got tossed around and several companies worked on tweaking and improving upon this idea. Kits that used an ordinary farm tractor and added the front and rear bucket systems were available, but they really didn't work well. The tractors were not set up to handle that much stress, and they weren't really very efficient. After World War II and Korea, soldiers started to come home, and these guys wanted to move their new families into houses. So between 1945 and 1955, over 10 million homes were built in the US, and new construction just kept right on growing at a record pace. People wanted a compact machine that could do lots of jobs in a hurry: utilities, trenching, grading, and excavation. By 1956, Case Equipment Company manufactured a 300 series tractor, which could be outfitted with attachments including backhoes and front-end loaders, but this combination was not available in one standard unit. In 1957, Case bought a company located in Indiana called Churubusco. They happened to be making a hydraulically powered backhoe to attach to their own crawler tractors. After this purchase, Case engineer Elton Long combined forces, got a team together, and later that year they developed the Case 320, which was the first fully integrated backhoe loader in the world, which was made and warranted by one company. So from now on, when we talk about our friend the backhoe, we're referring to the rubber tire tractor mounted version that also has a front loader bucket on it, like the star of our show, the Volvo BL60 and BL70 series machines. And as Paul Harvey would say, now you know the rest of the story. Stay tuned for more adventures with the backhoe loader. Thanks for watching and be safe out there.